Welcome to Let's Play Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Let's dive into this game. I said I wanted to play a Sonic game last time, and that's just what we're going to do. So, off to a great start. I didn't get hit by that monkey, which surprisingly always ends up giving me trouble. Now, why did I want to play this game, you might be wondering. That's because I've been playing two very long games recently, both Mega Man 64 and Mega Man Battle Network. And I've been wanting to play something a bit shorter, just to make a difference. Because, I mean, RPGs are nice, but sometimes you just feel like playing a platformer. And that's just what we're going to do. I wonder if I could get up there using this spring. Oh yeah, I can. Let's go! I have a lot of fond memories of this game. However, they don't date to my early childhood. It took a while for me to get a Genesis. Well, I say a while. It seemed like it took a while, mostly because growing up, we had a Nintendo Entertainment System at home. Not a Genesis. And then, by the time the Super Nintendo came out, that's the one my parents ended up getting. So, while I was very happy to have a Super Nintendo, I remember seeing a commercial for Sonic 2 on TV while we were at my grandma's place. And everything about this looked so different from anything I knew on Nintendo. I just had to try it. Seeing Sonic run through these loops and all these mechanical worlds, it made me want to be a part of that. So I asked my parents if we could go and rent Sonic the Hedgehog from the video store. And that's when I found out it wasn't for Nintendo, it was for Sega. It was my first time as a kid coming across the realization that there's other video game companies, there's not just Nintendo. It was such a hard hit for me because somehow I just couldn't understand how that was possible. There was this game I really wanted to try, but because we didn't have the system for it, there was no way I could ever try it. I remember going to the video store with my parents and, weirdly enough, seeing the box for Dr. Mario. And all the colors on Dr. Mario reminded me of Sonic, so I just wanted to rent this one instead, thinking I could maybe get some fun out of it. I had no idea what Dr. Mario was about, of course. Let me tell you, it has nothing to do with Sonic. And I was just so disappointed to not have a Genesis. Right around that time, at the place where I went after school, the daycare, there was Sonic the Hedgehog cereal. Would you believe that? And it made me want to play Sonic even more. I remember cutting the box of cereal, the cardboard box, and cutting out all the pictures, Sonic and Tails, and keeping them. I was so excited to try this game. And it took a while after that until I got a chance to actually try it. It turns out, my parents had two friends living not too far from my place, the town where I grew up. I can't remember their names. However, in the basement there was a Sega Genesis. And I finally got the chance to try Sonic. I remember going there one Friday evening with my parents. And then their friends told me that in the basement there was a game console I could use, and they told me it was a Sega Genesis. I was entranced by this game. I remember being so amazed by how fast it was and how different it looked from Mario. The levels are so big, and there's a lot of different paths you can take. I mean, some Mario levels have different paths, but nothing compared to Sonic levels. You should take the time someday to take a look at a Sonic the Hedgehog map for one of these levels. They are huge, it's crazy. Some of them have more than one ending, a lot of them do actually. The game encourages you to explore and try to make your own path. Usually, the higher you are in the map, the more rewarding it is. But it's very difficult to stay at the top if you're not skilled, which is not my case. I'm kind of struggling with this game. I have a lot of fun playing it, but I wouldn't exactly call myself skilled. And I think I will demonstrate that. Oh no, I thought I was about to get crushed. Didn't want to risk it. So yeah, I got the chance to play Sonic the Hedgehog for the first time at that place. And I spent the entire evening in that basement just discovering this game. I don't think I ever made it past Chemical Plant, the stage we're in right now. I was just stuck. Having played Mario all this time, playing Sonic felt so much different. Sonic has very different physics from Mario. The way he runs up walls and runs up hills almost feels more like a vehicle than a living thing. It reminds me a bit of a car. The physics you'd expect out of a car. Kind of strange, I don't know if that's making any sense, but I never thought Mario had a hard time running up a hill. But if you don't pick up enough speed with Sonic, he'll have a hard time. And when you're jumping up a hill with Mario, it's very easy to push yourself forward. But if you try to jump forward on a hill with Sonic, and the hill is at a certain angle, you'll end up jumping back. It's very different in how it feels. And as a kid, that kind of blew my mind. Also, I guess the water in this level really didn't help make this any easier for me. In Mario, you never run out of air, but in Sonic, that's a problem. Once you start panicking, it's over. It's very strange playing this with a PlayStation 2 controller, but I'll have to get used to it. I can't lie, the PS2 controller is very good, so I can't complain. It's not like I'm playing this with a Genesis controller. I don't have too many complaints about a Genesis controller, but it's not the most amazing controller either. Still, it's not the worst either. Okay, boss time. Watch out! He's got a bucket of water and he's not afraid to use it! Oh dear, he actually hit me with it. Maybe I should be more careful. There it is. I love how that piece was floating in the air above his head as the ship was exploding. Yeah. Going back to my story. So, well, after a while, we had to go back home. But having played Sonic, I now really wanted to play it again. I really wanted to see all of Dr. Robotnic's machines and what the other levels were. I just had to see them. Problem is, the only time I could play it was at that place. And we didn't go there often. But still, I kept looking forward to the next time we'd go there. And the next time we did, we actually brought one of my friends along. So I got to show him the Sega. It was my friend Philip. Just something I remember. We played Sonic all evening and we made it to this level. And I remember loving that level. It was so different from the Chemical Plant Zone. By that time, I knew I wanted that Sega. And I think my parents' friends noticed because they offered my parents to sell them the Sega. And they did. As my birthday gift that year, my parents got me that old Sega from their friends. It only had Sonic the Hedgehog, but by God was I happy. I could finally play it at home. I had my own Sega Genesis. My friend Timothy came over, and he had actually got a Genesis too. I think the Sega was at his father's place, and he could only play it when he went there. So it was also special for him being able to play it. So we played it together, and we made it the farthest I'd ever made it in the game, but I still couldn't make it to the end. I don't remember which level was causing me the most trouble, but I do remember not being able to make it to the end. It was frustrating because I wanted to see the rest of the game. Just around that time, there was this magazine that my parents were subscribed to. I think it was called TV Hebdo. And it was this TV guide, basically. And at the end of that magazine, they would always post game tips. And right around that time, they posted a game tip for Sonic 2. It was this cheat code that you'd enter in the sound test menu. If you did that and entered certain songs in a very specific order, then you'd be able to access a level select screen. That completely blew my mind as a kid. I was amazed being able to choose my level, because that meant that I'd be able to see all the other levels. That's when I first made it to the later levels in the game. Huh, I was wondering why Robotnic wasn't showing up. And I got to see all of Robotnic's machines. I was a big fan of that guy as a kid. I always loved villains who created machines for some reason. And it was such a treat breaking them as Sonic, you know? I always wondered what he'd create next. Like, this one is just one big hammer. It's kind of a letdown. But still, it's pretty funny. Not his best creation, huh? But I like the idea that all of his machines are basically just this little capsule with attachments made to it. Every time you destroy it, everything breaks off that capsule. So it makes you wonder, like, does he always use the same capsule as the core? Because I really liked the Robotnic machines, a very fond memory I have as a kid of Sonic is that I went to a friend's place and he had this Lego set. I don't remember what it was called, but it had a lot of machine parts. And one of these machine parts was like a domed canopy, like a glass canopy that you could put over a cockpit. And then you had all these parts like big pincers and drills. So we made this story where I was playing this mad scientist who we just straight up called Robotnic. And he would create all these machines to try and steal these crystals from the heroes. So my friend was playing the heroes, and I would play Robotnic trying to steal these crystals, which were basically like the Chaos Emeralds, now that I think about it. And I would make all these different machines for Robotnic, but I would always use that glass canopy part for the cockpit, just like Robotnic's capsule. And every time Robotnic showed up in his new machine, I would do the Robotnic theme. Even though we were just playing with Lego, I'd go like every time he showed up. For some reason, my friend really liked that too. I can't believe the things that he would put up with just to follow whichever game I was the most into. But I guess our imaginations were in sync because he really liked it too. Ah, the stories we made with Robotnic and all the heroes trying to protect the crystals. I don't even know what the crystals did, but they must have been precious because these heroes were protecting them with their lives. Oh my gosh. Playing Lego and making all these different machines was amazing. What a great weekend that was. I remember staying there for the long weekend. We had Friday and Monday off, and I went over to his place. My friend's place was kind of like, how do you call these in English? Oh my goodness, like a cabin in the woods? His house was like this huge cabin, all made of wood, with the front of the house being this big window. I don't know if you can picture it in your head, but the house was shaped like a big triangle. So the front of the house was all one big triangle window. and the rest of the house was all made of wood. But it was huge! And of course, it was in the woods. And, my goodness, he had so much Lego to play with. It was amazing going there. He had 3 older sisters, and all of them were redheads. And, I had such a crush on his older sister. Her name was Carlin. And my goodness, it's like, basically she made me realize how much I love redheads. That's like my weakness. That because of that, when I first saw Misty in Pokemon, she reminded me of Carlin. What a cute girl. Good memories. I don't know how old I was. I must have been around... Oh my goodness, I'm stuck on that spring. I must have been around 9, maybe 8. And she was much older than us. I don't know how old she was back then, but she was in high school. She was also very sweet, so it kinda helped. But yeah, those are some really fond memories I have of hanging out with Christopher and his sisters. Playing Sonic just brings me back to that. Oh, here comes Robotnic with his weird casino-themed machine. Kind of tricky to hit him. Okay, that's how you do it. Oh, I keep going too far. Can I do it from this side too? Okay, I can. Once again, not the most efficient machine design. It's just got one claw. Oh, it's, what are they called again? UFO catcher? They're very popular in Japan. You can get prizes in these machines. You know, they just have like a pincer. Oh my goodness. You need to pick up more speed than that. I see, because it's a casino, his machine is like a UFO crane game. It makes more sense to me now. Okay, let's free the animals. Ah, freeing the animals from Robotnic. What does he even do with all these animals? He roboticizes them, right? What a strange plot for a game. This scientist guy just shows up in this world of animals and tries to turn everything into machines. Why is he so obsessed with machines anyway? What's his deal? I remember seeing a pitch for the Archie comics. I think it was for the Archie comics, or maybe it was for the old cartoon, where they said that Robotnik was actually the last surviving human in this post-apocalyptic world where animals were now ruling the planet, and he wanted to take over the world and turn everything to machines. It was a very Planet of the Apes kind of plot. Very not fitting to Sonic, but still interesting to see what they had in mind. I think it was for the cartoon. I guess it was their pitch for Robotnik's backstory, and it never really stuck. Kinda makes you wonder what his backstory is for the Sonic games, or if he even has one. What's over there? There's like a window. Huh. Odd. Huh. I just realized, because I'm recording this full screen, I can't see my timer. So I don't know how long I've been playing this. I guess I'll just follow my feeling. And for now, I haven't been playing long enough. Is there really such a thing as too much Sonic? Let's go! Oh, look at that nice arc. That was fun. I guess we could finish Hilltop and then I could call it an episode. I guess so. Okay. Something about Sonic makes me feel, like, really fast. I don't know if I spoke way too fast in this episode, telling my stories. I guess it's fitting of a Sonic game, huh? My thoughts and my memories were going 1,000 miles an hour. Oh, we're going into this place again. Ah, look at all the lava. Oh no! Sorry about that. I couldn't resist it. And that door was going crazy. What's up with that? Why does the door go crazy like that? That's such strange programming. Okay, this cave now. I wonder if I could have jumped. Oh, Tails, why did you do that? Fool of a Took. Fool of a Tails. He triggered the, oh, what is this even called? Ferry? The lift? Anyway, he triggered it before I could get on it. Silly Tails. You want to see me die? Oh, where does this take me? Ugh, I don't want to go there. It's probably the alternate path. Okay, boss time. Not his most efficient robot this time either. Oh. He does set fire to the hills. Is his window broken? Okay, no, the top part is broken. And he just goes back down into the lava. Do you think the lava leaks in from the top and he just burns? Oh, look at all the little animals. Yeah. Well, I guess that's it for this episode. Mystic Cave Zone. Listen to that ominous music. Well, next time we'll be exploring the Mystic Cave Zone. Until next time, I thank you all so much for watching, and I wish you all a good night. See ya next time!